Hi everybody, this is Amanda from the Monticello-Union Township Public Library, and I'm back again with another cooking video. We were trying to decide in our family what to have for supper, and as you can kind of tell by outside, it is cold and rainy even though it is May here. And I had been saving something special in my freezer that I found. So today I'm making deer meat chili. I want to show you, I've already almost got the meat all done, but I have not drained the meat. One of the things I love about deer meat is it is extra lean. So if you are trying hard to watch what you eat and have leaner meats, while I know beef is off the table for some people, deer meat is definitely a leaner cut, and we like it. My kids also love deer meat chili. It's their very favorite chili I made. So I started with 2 pounds. I've added, as you can tell, some red onion, and now we're to the stage that I can add in my chili mix. One other thing I want to talk about is, I've said this before in my cooking videos, but I am a very old school cook, so I love my cast iron. So what I do with my chili is I start it in my cast iron, and then I transfer it to my stock pot to let it cook down a little bit. We like the flavors to be able to meld and blend together a little bit. So even though technically we could eat it right out of the pan on the stove here, we like to put it in our stock pot and cook it down to give the flavors time to kind of meld together. And then you have more layers of flavor that way. So at the step I'm at right now, I'm going to switch utensils on you guys. I'm adding in my chili seasoning mix, and remember I used 2 pounds. So I'm using 2 envelopes. Sometimes I do my own chili seasoning mix, and sometimes I just use the packets because it's easier and quicker. And today is just kind of one of those days. So we're going to throw those in real quick. And chili is another one of those great meals that you can adapt for your family. You may have a family that doesn't like chunky tomatoes, or you may have a family that doesn't like beans. Today I am using 2 cans of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato sauce, and 3 cans of mild chili beans. And I may alter that a bit as we get it in the stock pot. If it's a little too thick, I might add more tomato sauce. Or if it's too thin, I might add some more beans to thicken it up a bit. Again, chili is another great way to use up things in your freezer and your cabinet. And it's a great meal to make specifically for your family. Like I said, you may have people in your family that don't like certain things or like things certain ways. So right now I'm at 2 cans, and I'm just going to go ahead and stir this all together. And I'm cooking this on medium-high heat right now. I have not yet turned on my stock pot. I'm going to wait to do that until I know that we're almost ready to go in. And if you noticed, I did not drain my meat at all. I showed you that there was no need to do that. Normally, if I was making chili with ground beef or ground pork or ground turkey, I would always drain my meat before we go to the step we're doing right now, just to get the extra fat off. So this is looking really great, but I'm gonna go ahead and dump another can of diced tomatoes in. And as you notice, I'm not draining these either. I'm not gonna drain anything. You want the liquid and you want the flavor from everything. You need the liquid from the diced tomatoes. There is 1 can of tomato sauce in here, but you need the liquid from the other things as well. And it's starting to smell really great in here. And I didn't mention in my last video, but I am going to mention today that my videographer this time, since I'm at home, is my fiance Brian. So he is helping me, and he helps me in the kitchen a lot. We actually really enjoy cooking together. And we have a very large family, if you don't know that about us. Between the 2 of us, we have 10 kids. You heard that right, we have 10 kids. And we have a grandbaby on the way in 4 short weeks. So we're a huge family, and so it takes both of us in the kitchen sometimes to get meals on the table. And we have learned to cook together in our kitchen. So I'm going to add in a can of the chili beans, and this is really thick so far. So I'm just guessing here that by the time I get it to there, I will undoubtedly need to add another can of tomato sauce, but that's okay. Chili is one of those things that, at least for me personally, and I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. This is bubbling, so I'm going to go to low medium on my stove. Chili is one of those things that you can adapt for your life and your family. And so I don't make it the same way every time. There are times I make it exactly the same, and other times I'll add more beans or less beans or more tomatoes. This is starting to look really, really good though. And again, use what meat you have, but remember, if you're using something other than a lean cut of meat, you need to drain your meat before you start adding your seasoning and your tomatoes and your beans in for your chili. Now my pan is really, really full, so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this in here. I'm gonna grab my pot holders real quick. They're a little bit out of reach. And this is probably gonna be really messy, but that's okay. Sorry, I have kids coming in and out that don't know what's happening, so if you see me looking the other direction, I'm giving signals to my children. This is just sort of real life in our house. As I said, we have 10 kids combined, so there's always kids here. So if you hear noises in the background, that's what you're hearing. Trying to decide how I want to do this. I think what I'm going to do, just to make it safer and so I don't make a huge mess, I'm going to use my ladle and just start putting it in my pan. And I can tell you right now that this chili is going to be a little thick for what we want. So we're definitely going to be adding another can of tomato sauce here in just a few minutes. Hey guys, I'm so sorry I'm back. We had a bit of a technical difficulty with the iPad that has suddenly stopped working. So we have switched to my phone. So if it looks a little different, that's why. But I didn't want to leave you hanging, and this pot of chili is almost done, so I wanted to be sure that you could see the end of it. So basically all I did after the video cut out was I put everything from my skillet into my stock pot. I went ahead and added another can of chili beans for a total of 2 cans of chili beans. I added another can of tomato sauce for a total of 2. And my chili is still super, super thick. We'll give you a picture here real quick so you can see. It's still real thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a can of water. And I'm just using the can that the chili beans came in. So we're just going to go 1 can of water. Just so that there is a little bit of liquid in our chili. And now we're just going to allow this, like I said, we're just going to allow it to cook. But like I said before, you could eat it straight out of here. And a lot of people do just that and eat it out of the skillet that they make everything in. I prefer to let the beans and the flavors meld together and let it cook down, as I said in the first video. So we're going to let this cook down probably a good 30 minutes. And then some of us in our family will add some macaroni that I have not cooked yet, but we're going to make that here real fast. Some of us like a more chili mac type of thing, and we'll add some shredded cheese as well to our bowls after we get this done. I'm really sorry about the glitch earlier, guys, but our pot of chili is pretty much done. Again, adapt. If you want to add more tomatoes or more beans, do that. But right now we have, and I'll get you a ladle full so you can kind of see what it looks like. But we have a really beautiful looking chili. And again, this one was made with deer meat, chili beans, tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, and chili seasoning. And again, a can of water. That's it. Super simple. My time at the stove is 20 minutes max. And then we're going to let this cook down for a good 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll even let it cook down an hour to let all the flavors meld together before we eat it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry about the two-parter. And I'll be back with another cooking video soon. Enjoy.